You're listening to My Kind of Indie Country Wednesday right here. I'm Scott Weichel, your host on MKOCRadio.com. My special guest tonight has just recorded a brand new song written by the great Jerry Collins, and it's called Nowhere to Go But Crazy, and he's here tonight to talk about that song along with his albums and his great career. This is Daryn Wright. Daryn, how are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for being on the show. Appreciate it very much.
You bet.
Well, tell me about this new song. Jerry Collins from the Gwen and Jerry wrote this great song, and man, I really like it. Nowhere to Go But Crazy. How did you come across this tune?
Well, I was in the recording studio with my great producer, Kurt Ryle, and we were going over some music of mine, and he said that I should probably see about recording somebody else's song. So he had this great list of different music, and we went through a few things and came across this song, and everything was perfect about it. The lyrics were great, the melody was great, the music was great, and I decided that would fit me just fine.
Well, it certainly does, and you did a great job on it, and we've have already played it several times on our station, and we're going to play it again here tonight too. So I applaud you for the job on it. It's a great song, right in the pocket, you know.
Oh, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, give me a little bit of background on your career and how you got started in this crazy business of music.
Well, crazy it is. There's no doubt about that. I've always been kind of trying to get into music for, I don't know, almost ever since I can remember. Clear back in high school, singing with my sister and things like that. I spent some time in the Navy, and one of my friends actually was Sir Mix-a-Lot. We were at his birthday party one time, and he had some of the people over from his record company, and we were goofing off on a karaoke machine. His representative liked what he heard and got permission from me to put my name out to some of his other contacts, and that's where it kind of got started. But it took a long time to get everything together. I wasn't that good at writing music at that time. Didn't know a whole lot about the business, but you learn as you go.
Yeah, amen to that. Amen to that. So when did you record your first album?
Well, I started recording in, I believe it was 1996, so it's been a while. But again, you know, my music had to progress to a point to where it was actually radio worthy, or even album worthy for that matter. My first album was complete in 2010, so it took a long time to get to that point.
Oh yeah, well it's as all of us in the industry know, it's not an overnight thing, and people just kind of think you magically show up and start singing. There's a lot of work involved, and it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, that's most definite there. Yeah, they say that the average person that's considered a decent writer, if they write 60 songs, they have one good one in the 60 songs. So it takes a lot of songs at the beginning to get the knack of it, to get out all the mistakes and get the proper lyric out there with the music. If you can learn to be a little bit better than one every 10 songs, that's when you start putting out some real good music.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always curious when I talk to songwriters. So, what is your songwriting style? Do you just say, "I'm going to sit down and write a song," or does an inspiration come to you, or what's your process?
I have a few different ways that there's no one set way that I use, but usually I get an idea, I throw it around in my head. I try to forget it for 3 days. And if I can remember what I was doing, then I feel it's worth continuing. If it's something that's easily forgotten, then to me it's not up to my par as to continue on that particular line, or what I call the hook is usually what I start with. Mm-hmm. The hook or the idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's an interesting concept. I don't think I've heard that one before. That's really interesting. That's kind of a neat litmus test, I guess.
Yeah, well, if it's memorable to me, then it should be memorable to other people. And again, the hook is supposed to be the most memorable thing in your song. So if you have trouble remembering it yourself, then you're probably doing some injustice putting it out as it is. It's better you set it aside and see if you can improve on it until it's something that people will like.
Absolutely.
Remember.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, you've written some great material. You've got, as you mentioned, your albums. You've got Honky Tonk Gypsy to the Bone, and your newest one is Dancing Naked in the Rain. And you've won some accolades from the Texas International Music Association for that as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's fabulous. Glad to hear it. DarynWright.com, folks, is the website, and you can go there and check out Daryn's music and learn more about him. And Amazon.com also has Daryn's music available. And tell me a little bit about the American Trucker TV show.
I did an interview quite a while back. They were going. It was a fairly new show at the time. Met the guy who is the star of the show. They were coming around trying to get some stories on truck drivers. I'm a truck driver by trade. They came across me. They listened to my music and they decided to use one of my songs on their show. I'm not absolutely positive on how often it plays, but they did purchase the rights to play the song on their show.
Well, that's really cool. What song is it?
Let's see, what was the name of that song? Oh, it just slipped my mind.
I know when that happens. Well, some of the other songs that you sent me are fantastic, and I'd like to ask you about a couple of them. One of them that I really like is called Take a Picture.
Oh, I love that you like that one.
How did that song come about for you?
I was talking to some people that were having a divorce, and the guy was really struggling with his emotions, and it just spawned a little story, because he's going over some of his belongings, what he was taking with him, and he was really struggling with dealing or coping with his situation. And so it spawned the idea of, well, maybe if he could get rid of his memories, maybe he could live an easier time of his life. And so I thought, well, maybe an idea of a song would be somebody begging somebody to take the pictures from it. And that's what the song's about.
Well, that's great. Well, that's available on the album Dancing Naked in the Rain. And tell me about the title song. I understand that's a true story.
Yes, it is. The whole story of where that came about is pretty funny, actually. It was my honeymoon. Everything that could have went wrong on the honeymoon did go wrong. We lost our entire money, wallet. We were 600, 700 miles away from the house. We continued 2 extra weeks on no money.
Wow.
Everybody would stop and ask us how we're doing, and it was like a magical five. They either gave us a $5 bill, gave us $5 worth of gas, gave us $5 worth of food. We went 2 weeks on nothing. And the last part of the trip was stopping at a campground. We could relax, air out the blankets and everything for the night, and stay the night there and go home in the next morning instead of arriving home when it got dark. And just so happened that a storm came out of nowhere. I was up the river fishing. Long story short, I picked up a couple ticks on my way back to the camp. So that's how we ended up actually dancing naked in the rain, was when I was in the tent picking out, finding ticks on me. My then new wife had ripped a hole in the tent trying to get out and ran to the car. And she, just like the song says, She didn't have any clothes on, so she was running naked. And I couldn't take the clothes with me, so we were both out by the car trying to get in. Couldn't find the key. We thought we were alone in the campground. And come the next morning, we were woke up by a bunch of other people leaving the campground as they were honking their horns and hollering out, thanking us for giving them quite the show.
Oh my gosh, you can't make stuff up like that. That's great.
It was very humorous, and we still laugh about it today.
Well, I guess if you survive that, then you got a good solid marriage. There's no doubt about it. You were put to the fire right out the get go, I guess.
Yeah, you can't beat humor like that.
Amen to that. That's fantastic. Well, folks, again, DarynWright.com is the website, and you can pick up that album, Dancing Naked in the Rain, as well as Honky Tonk Gypsy to the Bone, and some other great songs that we're going to play on this show, Huckleberry and Me and Baby I Can't. Some great songs. We'll be playing those tonight and in their coming weeks as well. And, of course, we're going to play the new song, Nowhere to Go But Crazy. And Jerry Collins is such a great writer, and he's a legend in country music. Him and his wife, Gwen, were, with Capitol Records for so many years and had so many great songs, and he knows just about everybody, and he's a good guy and a good writer.
I definitely agree with that.
Amen to that. So what's coming up for you? Do you have any tour dates or any big events coming up?
I'm recovering from an injury on my shoulder, so I don't have anything scheduled right now. My physical therapy is 3 times a week, so I'm kind of held down. But I am trying to get over to Nashville in April for the Tennessee Songwriters Association awards ceremony, and another one in October. So I was requested to start touring in the middle of this year in Europe. I'm not sure that I can make that schedule, so it'll probably start next year.
Uh-huh. Well, that's great. Well, we wish you the best and hope you heal up quickly, and we'll look forward to hearing more from you. And we sure do appreciate taking the time to talk to me today and sharing your great music with us.
I appreciate your time, and thank you for playing my music. I enjoy the radio show.
Well, thanks very much, Daryn. I appreciate it. We're going to play Nowhere to Go But Crazy, written by the great Jerry Collins right now for you. This is Daryn Wright as we continue with My Kind of Indie Country here on Wednesday. Thanks for joining us, folks. And again, Daryn Wright, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Texas, they call me the king of San Antonio. I was such a fool, I broke every rule. I didn't have enough sense to go home. I really had a gold mine there my name.